Welcome back to another IFATC tutorial. My name is Tyler with Flying Development Studio, and you're watching part 3 of our Tower tutorial series. Be sure you go back and watch the first two because we've already talked about departures and infinite flight separation, and we also talked about arrivals and how you can handle your inbounds and pattern work. So now we're going to look at some advanced techniques, starting off with Shamrock 818. We're using runway 11, and 11 right is our shorter runway, 11 left is longer. So to accommodate the Airbus 321, we're going to tell Shamrock to enter a right base for runway 11 left. The next thing I want to do is talk to my Cirrus holding short of 11 right. And we'll go and clear him for takeoff. We have no traffic, so clear for takeoff, make right traffic. Now I do want to apologize, we did not get any audio on this session, it just didn't record, so I'm going to just do my best to narrate this situation for you and we'll make it work. So the next thing we have as we fast forward is Navy 1 is ready for departure. Now I know the Spitfire is a lot faster than the departing Cirrus, so I'm going to tell him runway 11 right, clear for takeoff, make left traffic, because my intent is that I want to change his runway to runway 11 left to be in front of the Airbus 321 that's approaching final. So right now, Corporate 211 will just go ahead and clear him for number 1, and we'll get that out of the way. Now as I highlighted on your screen, we have New Zealand, who is crossing runway 11 right to depart 11 left. We'll tell him runway 11 left, clear for takeoff, make left traffic. Now we go back to our Spitfire, and we've told him to enter a left downwind for runway 11 left, and we'll clear him as number 1. So here you can see we're clearing him for the option, and then the next thing we want to do is immediately go back to Shamrock and let him know that number 2, traffic to follow, is on left downwind. So that's what we're doing right here. So by doing this, we can really stay ahead of the game. We've already cleared our Cirrus, who's on 11 right. Navy has already been changed to 11 left, and he's been cleared. And then now Shamrock also knows who he's following. Keeping our departures moving, I see Speedbird is ready for departure on runway 11 left. And knowing that New Zealand is going to be airborne by the time he starts takeoff roll, we'll simply say runway 11 left, clear for takeoff, make left traffic. Now, a situation that we've seen in previous videos is what's happening with Navy. He's number 1 to the runway, but he's kind of getting close to Shamrock, so to really control my pattern, I'm just going to tell him to turn base, and now there's no question as to whether or not he'll make it in front of Shamrock. So don't be afraid to really control your pattern and be flexible. A lot of times we want to sequence and then just sit back and let everything happen, but you might want to actually tell aircraft to turn base, or you might have to resequence entirely because your original plan didn't work out. And we'll see some more of that as the video goes on, where I have one idea. It doesn't quite look right, so I just resequence. It's as simple as that. So the next thing I'm doing right here is Navy 1 is about to do a touch and go on 11 left. I know that as soon as he's on the go, I want to tell him to enter the right downwind for runway 11 right. So I go ahead and just cue the command so that as soon as he's airborne, I can send it. The next thing that happened was Corporate 211 announced a go around. When an aircraft goes around, you simply want to just tell them to enter a right or a left downwind for the runway they were assigned, and then any applicable sequence. So that just kind of reiterates what you want them to do once they're going around. So as we can see, Navy 1 is airborne, and I'm immediately sending that into right downwind, number 2, traffic to follow is on right downwind. So now he's back on his original runway, and he's going to be following the Cirrus. We just talked about situations where you might want to resequence, and I think this is one of those that I quickly recognized, where you see the Spitfire is turning into the downwind right behind the Cirrus. We all know the Spitfire is much faster, so as I watch this develop a little bit, I'm just going to go back and tell Navy 1 that he's number 1 for runway 11 right, and then by telling him that, he knows that he can go and pass the Cirrus, and then we immediately jump back to Corporate 211 and tell him number 2, traffic to follow is on right downwind. So we've stayed flexible, we're controlling our pattern, and we're providing good service by allowing faster aircraft to get more patterns rather than have them follow a really slow aircraft on the downwind. I think we've all been there, and it's not very fun. So to really stay ahead of the game, we've sequenced everybody, we've been clearing everybody, and then all we have to do from there is really just monitor our pattern. So as you can see on runway 11 left, pretty standard stuff. We just sequenced an aircraft, we just cleared an aircraft, and our pattern can just flow. Alright, let's check out our next situation. I have Navy, who is on right downwind for runway 11 right. He's been sequenced to follow the Cirrus, who's now on final for runway 11 right. but I'm recognizing that Shamrock is on a pretty extended downwind. He doesn't seem to be turning base anytime soon. So you can see as I'm about to clear Navy for the option, I kind of reevaluate the situation and think, okay, how can I get Navy another approach? So I go back and I'm going to say enter right base for runway 11 left. So if you can fit aircraft in, make it work. As soon as I see that the Spitfire is past the Cirrus's position on final, I'm going to tell him to enter a right base for runway 11 left, clear him for the option, and then immediately jump back to Shamrock and tell him who he's following. So number 2, traffic to follow, is on right base. Now, I've already cleared the aircraft that are on the downwind for 11 left, so there's no point in re-clearing them again. The clearance still stands. We just need to issue the new sequence so they know who they're following. And then from here, we see Speedbird is on crosswind, so we're going to tell him number 4, traffic to follow, is on left downwind, and issue our clearance. As we come up on the end of our session here, the last thing we'll look at is giving exiting commands. So if we remember from our arrivals video, the time to give an exit command is once the aircraft has touched down and they are safely on rollout. So we can see Navy is on rollout. We'll tell them to exit right and cross runway 11 right. As you can see, the Cirrus is on the downwind, so there's no way that that's ever going to be a conflict, and all is well. So I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you for bearing with no audio. I could have played Nickelback in the background, but I think we can all agree silence was much better. So, for more tutorials like this one, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and as always, please visit community.infiniteflight.com. Again, this is Tyler with Flying Development Studio, and we'll see you next time.